She called me a terrorist right in front of my face. She called my country and the people I live with there, all of them, we are terrorists. Hello and welcome back to my channel with a new video. And by the way, sorry for the mess behind me. We're moving apartments. That's the second time I move out this month. I helped my brother and now I'm moving out with my second brother. It's crazy. So I wanted to make this video for a while now because I never really done it because I didn't feel like it was the right time, but I think now is kind of the rightish time to talk about those things. That happened a long time ago, so I'm over it. But definitely it wasn't the only time that happened, but that was the worst experience out of them all. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. I'm not trying to take away from anyone. I'm not trying to take away from like Black Lives Matter, of course not. I support them all the way, and I also think we need to talk about other minorities, because if Black Lives Matter get what they want, I think it'll be way easier for a lot of other minorities, if that makes sense. And I'm not gonna say my experience was the same as Black people. I think Black people have it way worse. I can't hide my identity because I don't look Arab. I'm not, I don't have darker colors. Some people think I'm white, so I can't hide that. But Black people can't do that, so I think they have it way worse. And plus, it's not like I'm telling you to hide it. It's the opposite. I think you should be proud of who you are, no matter what nationality you are. Just be proud. But for me, it's not, like I said, it's not as severe, but I've been called a lot of nasty stuff because I'm Arab. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what happened. So that happened a long time ago. I was 17. I'm 27, so that was 10 years ago basically. And at the time I did not have my citizenship. I had a green card, and I did not I had some issues with my green card at the time, so I knew I was gonna have some problems and issues when traveling, but at that time I had to travel alone. My family had to go before me, and they left me alone with my dad in Lebanon, and I had to travel alone. They had the renew of their green card way before I did, so they had to go. Also, I had a really important exam, that's why I stayed. I had some public, I don't know what you call that. It's called Bac Français, I don't know. It's some French really important exam that I had to stay for. At the time, I did not speak English that well. I thought I did, but no, I did not. My English was very broken. I could understand pretty well, but I could not communicate with people as well as I wanted. I did not speak as well as I wanted. So it was very rough for me. I was kind of scared, but I was like, you know what? My family went through because they have the same problem, so I can do it. But little that I knew that they were just lucky. And the problems were just gonna hit me. Anyway, so I was prepared. I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna try. It was my first time alone, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I can do it. It was kind of exciting for me, but kind of scary. So I don't know if a lot of people know that, but there's no direct flights from Lebanon to US. You have to stop somewhere. It seems US is very scared of us, so there's no direct flights. So we always have to stop somewhere. We usually stop somewhere in Europe. Sometimes we go back to like some Arab country like Qatar or something, which doesn't make sense because we're going back to go forward. It makes flying way harder. But at the time, I had to stop in Britain. I wish I did not stop there. Anyways, so I had to go through the Lebanese, airport or people. Then I could go to Britain, then I could go to US. So I had to pass through 3 places to get where I want. So the first place I had to stop was the airport of Lebanon. I didn't think it was gonna be a problem, but apparently it was also a problem. The moment I give the person, or at the time it was a woman, the moment I give the woman my green card, she looked at me very concerned. I mean, it's not like it was something illegal. There was a little issue, and we asked the American embassy before flying, if we can fly and is it safe, or like we can go to US without any problems. They were like, you might have some problems, but legally you can. So that's why we decided to go, because we asked the American embassy and they told us we can. So I'm not doing anything illegal. So she looked at me very concerned, and she's like, honey, I'm not your honey. She's like, honey, you can't really pass through, like it's not gonna work. And I was like, what? Like, not from the start, please, not from the start. And I was like, no, I need to go. You're not, like, if I don't go, basically I would lose all the possibility of having my citizenship one day, and if I don't pass through now, I'm done for. So I was like, girl, women, please. Auntie, I don't know, I don't say that. Please, like, let me through. We asked the embassy, they told us it was fine, and we stayed kind of arguing with each other for an hour and something. And my flight was gonna, it was very soon, so I had to go. I was like, women, please let me be. I'm not gonna do anything, like just let me go. It's legal, like I don't know what to tell you. And she really argued with me, and she brought some guy with her, and the guy was even more of an asshole than her. And I'm like, she wouldn't let me pass, and no matter what I said, she was very like stern, like no. And I was not gonna have no for an answer. That's my future right there, woman. So I kept insisting, and I started yelling a bit, but at the end she was fed up with me because I wouldn't go. I was like right there in front of her face. She was like, you know what, I'm gonna get you to Britain, and if they get you back, it's not my problem. I tried to tell you, and it's not my problem anymore. Just go. I was like, yeah, bitch. Yes. I was so happy at the time. I thought the problems were over, but that was just the start of it. It was nothing compared to what's gonna happen to me later. I was so happy with myself. I stood my ground. Just mind you, I was 17, and it was my first time flying, so I also was kind of lost. And I heard Britain, the airport in Britain was kind of huge, so I was kind of worried I'm gonna get lost. I mean, I was a teenager, which made sense. I was so scared of losing my papers, of losing anything, and yeah, I was also having this anxiety of like first time traveling alone, plus having this damn issue on my table. And then I go to I go to United Kingdom, and the thing is, because I had two different flights, I had two different airlines, so I couldn't take both tickets in Lebanon. I had to switch and get another ticket in Britain, so I had to go through this again. That's when the problems started, like the real ones. I go through, I give the person, it was also a woman at the time, I give the woman my green card, and she looks at me like a freak. Of course she knows where I'm from, and she's like, what is that? Yeah, she was not having it at all, this woman. We argued for a bit. She was not that bad, that one. She was not that bad. But then she brought another woman. That one was a bitch. Just a complete asshole. This woman was a very, very rude. She started yelling and being so disrespectful, and then she looked at where I was from, and she was like, oh, from Lebanon. And that's when she was like, oh, you know why we're doing this? Because you know, there are a lot of terrorists that come from your place, and that's why we're doing this. And she looks at me up and down, stating that I was a freaking terrorist. What? I'm a freaking 17-year-old kid, girl. How am I a freaking terrorist? And at the time, I didn't realize how bad it was for her to tell me this. Now I think about it, it's really bad. She called me a terrorist right in front of my face. She called my country and the people I live with there, all of them, we are terrorists. And yeah. And she was not having it. She didn't want to let me. She was actually searching for other planes to get me back to Lebanon, because she wouldn't let a terrorist go through. I was fucking shocked. I was, what the hell is happening? That's when she called me a terrorist, that's when I started yelling. I yelled. My English was not great at the time, but I don't know what God gave me at this point. I was speaking fluent. I never thought I would speak this way. I was speaking very fluent English and just yelling. I never thought I would yell this much in my freaking life at someone like that. I was yelling. I mean, I needed to go, you know. I was yelling, screaming. Women let me through. I have like people, American embassy, we went there, they told me it was fine, I'm not doing anything illegal, why are you telling me this? And after I started like yelling like a crazy bitch, she sent someone that was specialized. I mean, I don't know why she didn't send me this person from the start, and she wanted to get me back. Like after she saw me yelling, she's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna send someone that will talk to you, and he specialized about this. And he was American, actually. The woman was British. That person was American. We talked it out. He was super calm, super chill. He was like, okay, like, relax, I'm gonna get you through. He asked me a few questions. I'm gonna get you through, but once you get to US, please don't yell like that. You will go. And I was so relieved. This American told me it's okay, but that British bitch, that British woman, why is she telling me this? So yeah, I was very surprised. He was very cooperative, supportive, I don't know. So I noticed that I had barely half an hour left. And if you know, Britain is a huge airport. It's gonna take me at least an hour to get through security, at least. I knew at the time I was screwed and I'm gonna miss my flight. But that woman did not give a shit. She held me for more than an hour and a half with her, and she knew my flight was very soon, and she did not give a shit. So I was left. They let me go, and I was very confused on how I'm gonna get to this point in half an hour. Even less. It was like 20 minutes. So what I did was, it was to get me through. Maybe it wasn't the best idea ever, but it got me through it. I pretended I was I had a back surgery and I couldn't really walk that well. So I went through where you go inside a truck, a little cart or something, and they get you to your gate. But that cart, I mean, it was kind of empty, so I was not really taking anyone's place. But yeah, they put me in a little truck or like car or whatever the things you walk in, you drive in airports. I was there in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And I was ecstatic. I was there on time. Actually, not on time. They were having the last call and my name was there. If I was a few minutes late, my flight would have gone if I hadn't done that. So I was very glad I did this. Who knew I could do this? And that's when I arrived in Texas. I was very worried about Texas because, you know, that's where people are. That's why you should not judge people before. Like, I was judged, I was called a terrorist. In my mind, I was, oh, Texas, where like maybe I'll get some racist. But you should not judge someone before you meet them. That's what I learned. Because the best experience I had was in Texas. I did not get any weird looks. I did not get any insults. I did not get anyone that was disrespectful. And I think it's very important that we shouldn't, you know, stereotype people like I was stereotyped. You would assume the worst experience would be in Texas, but it was actually the friendliest, the best one, the easiest. And the moment I went there, they saw my green card. They told me to go on the side where all like the people that had problems. Of course, there were lots of immigrants there that had some issues, and I was one of them. There were cops in Texas. They were asking me a bunch of questions. They were super nice. They were so nice. I mean, though they were of course white people, but they were super nice. Amazing. They were joking with me all the time, telling me stuff and jokes. I mean, they knew they were dealing with a 17-year-old kid. Maybe the situation would have been different if I was older and a guy with a beard, maybe. But I mean, they did not do anything wrong to me. And after like an hour or so, they let me go. And I get to my point and I see my mom, and my mom was so worried. I don't know if she was crying because it was very late to going out, and she knew my airplane was already, you know, here. So why was I not out? Plus, I did not have a phone at the time, so I couldn't call anyone. But yeah, that's my little story, and I will never forget that woman who called me a terrorist. Never. I still know, like, I recognize her face if I see her. I just wanted to tell my story. I thought it was important to tell the story, at least to some people. We're in this together, but of course it's not as severe as you guys, black people, because I can't hide my identity. At the time I could not hide it because it was on paper. It was, they assumed I was Muslim, even though Lebanon, like, is what, 40%, almost that kind, I don't know, 40% Christian. At the time it was what, 50%, I think, Christian. So they assumed just because I was from an Arab country I was Muslim and a terrorist, even though I am Muslim. But what if I was Christian too? I mean, I'm not saying Muslims, I mean, I'm Muslim. I'm not saying Muslims are terrorists. But they just assumed I was. Just from, because I was from Lebanon, which is crazy. But yeah, I can hide my identity whenever I want, but not in airports. But now I can, actually, because I have my citizenship, I have my passport, no one can know where I'm from. And it says I was born in France, so they can't really know I'm from Lebanon. But yeah, it just very worrisome that a 17-year-old girl got treated this way. What if I was, you know, a guy? What would they have done with me? And what if I was black? I could not hide this fact. And this is very, very worrisome, and I think we should think about this as, you know, wake-up call. This happens every day. If I was someone from France or any European country, they would have let me in way, way easier, and they wouldn't have told me I was a terrorist. But I'm not white. I mean, my color skin is white, but I'm not white. I'm Arab. I feel like I'm judged if I say where I'm from. Especially in airports, I always get randomly searched, which is always because they see where I'm from. Every time we used to go, before we got the citizenship, we are searched, we are stopped for an hour in airports, we are, you know, questioned all the time. But yeah, that was my experience. If you have anything to add to the story, I don't know, please comment if you want to say anything. If you like this video, please thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe, and I'll put my Instagram down here or there, I don't know. But yeah, don't expect a lot in this Instagram account. It's just mostly my drawings. If you like art, follow me, I guess. Yeah, and have a great day wherever you're from, and I mean it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.